Welcome back everybody to the Coastal Seafoods Production Kitchen. Today we're going to cook up something pretty fun and dispel some myths about what I think is a fairly underrated fish. And you got to hear me out before we get into this, but tilapia can be great. You just have to know how to use it, is all. And it's very cost effective, so this is a great way to add more fish into your diet without having to spend a whole lot of extra money. So I'm gonna let people kind of log in here and check this out, because again, we've got something pretty fun that we're gonna make. And again, we're gonna talk a lot about tilapia because there's a lot of myths and rumors and things that exist about it, which frankly are just untrue and in most cases laughable. So we're gonna talk a lot about this. This is a beautiful farm-raised tilapia from a company called Regal Springs. And it is farm-raised, and what they do is it's farmed in a lake, a very nice, clean lake that's well taken care of. These fish are not treated with antibiotics or hormones or anything like that. They're raised a very clean, sustainable diet. In fact, these fish are actually rated by both the ASC and BAP as certified sustainable. So this is a really great product, and I want to show you how to use it because there's a lot of questions. So what I have here to get started is a bowl of tilapia that I basically just rough chopped the fillets and threw them in a food processor and gave them a few pulses to get this kind of ground tilapia. Now we're gonna make fish cakes because tilapia is, you know, again, it gets a bad rap for not having a lot of flavor and stuff like that. It is a pretty mild, lean fish. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a ton of flavor to this. That's where tilapia can be your star for making things like fish cakes and croquettes, stuff like that. You don't want to be throwing a bunch of first of the season halibut in your food processor to make fish cakes. Let's put it that way. So this is a really great way to do this. And so I've got this kind of rough pulsed tilapia here, and I've got my last fillet, which I'm just going to go ahead and give kind of a rough chop to, because I want to have some big pieces of fish in my cake as well. So again, I've pulsed most of it, but then I'm just going to sort of rough chop this so that we get a little bit of added texture. And this is going to be great. So I'm just going to rough chop this and add it to my bowl. Again, this is very clean tasting fish. I know a lot of people talk about tilapia being muddy, and it certainly can be. Turn down my oil a little bit here. Depending on where you get it from. Again, not all tilapia is created equal, so it's important to be making sure that you're getting stuff sourced well, like the stuff we've got here. Again, very, very, very important. So let's turn that down just a minute. I'm gonna get rid of my fish board here. And now we're gonna start talking about some of our flavoring components. Now this would be great if you had some hot chilies, like some jalapenos, because we're gonna give it kind of an Asian style profile. So what I'm gonna do is I've got some chopped red peppers here. Again, like Fresno chilies would be great in here, or jalapeno would be great in here. You could use some Thai chilies if you really wanted to kick up the spice factor. I've also got, now normally what I would do is I would grate either some fresh ginger or garlic right into this bowl, but I don't have any fresh ginger right now. So I'm gonna go back to this little trick, which I've used kind of a few times recently, but pickled ginger is a really great way to get a little bit of a last minute flavor boost. And even the people who don't like pickled ginger, again, it comes down to just sort of using it a little bit differently. Again, we're not gonna be eating this on our own. We're gonna be using this to add flavor to our tilapia. So I'm just gonna give this kind of a rough cut here. And I'm gonna add this directly to the fish, like so. And now we're really gonna try to hit it with some flavor. I've got a bunch of fresh herbs here, which we're gonna use. I've got some green onion, I've got some cilantro, and I've got some basil. And these are all gonna go together to really add some freshness to this, and I'll get a whole lot of flavor. So for our basil, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my leaves, I've got them all stacked up, and then I'm gonna roll them almost into like a cigar shape. And we're gonna do what's called a chiffonade, where we're gonna just cut this into thin strips. Now basil you want to be careful with. It's a delicate herb, so it bruises pretty easily. So you only want to cut basil once, And we're just gonna go through it just like this. And this is gonna give us a lot of strips of basil. And this is gonna go right in the fish cakes, just like so. Perfect. And I've got a little bit of cilantro here as well. I'm just gonna grab a little bunch of this and give this kind of a rough chop too. Now you can use the stems, everything here. Just give it kind of a good run through. Again, this is gonna add a ton of flavor to our fish cake mixture, which is exactly what we wanna do. Again, tilapia is one of those things that gets, there's a lot of like internet stuff about tilapia that we see go around about once a year. And when it does, I get all kinds of emails and messages from people who are freaked out because it's all talking about how tilapia is not a real fish that exists in the wild. It's raised in weird conditions. It's raised without bones, and just all this stuff that is just wildly not accurate. Tilapia is a real fish. It is found natively in the wild. It's actually indigenously an African fish related to perch. And it's a fish that the reason you see it so often is it's very cheap to raise efficiently, and it grows to market size quickly. So it lends itself very, very well to sustainable aquaculture, which is why you see it a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add that. And I think we're gonna go ahead and get the mix going. So I've got all my fresh herbs and fish together in this bowl. You can see it already just smells amazing. This is super beautiful. And again, we really want to try to dispel the myths around tilapia because this is a very accessible, very sustainable protein for people. Tilapia and catfish both. So again, I'm going to go ahead and just toss this mix together. Now, what's going to help bind these cakes together is the actual tilapia itself. Because I pulsed it, the protein from the fish should help hold it together. Now, ideally what you would do after you mix this, we're going to form these into our cakes, and then I'm going to fry them. But when you bread them, you probably want to chill them in your refrigerator or freezer for like half an hour to get them nice and firm. And that'll help hold them together in the pan. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to go ahead and turn my oil back on. And I'm going to grab some gloves. I'm going to start making some cakes. Right here, I've got my panko breadcrumbs. You could use regular breadcrumbs if you wanted to, but I like the texture of panko, and I happen to have them. So that is what I'm going to use. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here by making my first fish cakes. This is awesome. This is such an easy recipe to do. It goes very quickly. So I'm just going to take kind of a small handful of my tilapia mixture, and I'm going to just press it together in a cake form like so. Now you can do these as thick or as thin as you want. The thicker they are, the longer they're going to take to cook, obviously. So this is kind of a bigger one here. How about I do some smaller ones? So I'm just going to crust that up. Now again, I'm going to just kind of make like a fish meatball here, like so. And I'm going to flatten it out. Hold on, looks like we're having some issues. And no, this doesn't matter. You could do this with any fish. But again, you're not going to be wanting to use like an expensive fish for this kind of thing. There's no real point in doing that. Use that for the more fish-forward recipes where you're doing like an actual fillet. Because these, again, we're just adding a bunch of flavor to this, and the fish is just kind of the base. So anytime you're doing a recipe like that, tilapia, catfish works really well. Anything you're going to really heavily season, and you're not going to get the nuance of the fish. Again, we're not trying to hide the tilapia. I'm using a lot of fish here. This is going to be a very fishy fish cake, which is what we want. So we don't want a fish cake that doesn't have a lot of fish in it. So I'm going to go ahead and pack this all together. I'm going to go ahead and start adding these to my oil. Turn that heat down quite a bit and get these cooking. Now again, you would generally want to put these and chill these in a refrigerator for a little bit, That'll help hold them together when frying. Yeah, just toss them in the freezer for like half an hour or so, and they'll be good. And they cook up very quickly. Again, we're making fairly thin-sized patties here. And you could do this where you dredge an egg wash too, and the whole like, if you want like a thicker crust, you could certainly do that. There we go. Finish taking these off while those fry. They're already starting to get nice and golden brown, which is exactly what I want. And these are going to be delicious. And you could serve this with a wide range of sauces. Today I'm just going to be using a regular like Thai chili sauce, kind of that sweet, sour profile that goes really well with this kind of fried seafood. Oh yeah. These are looking great. And again, so easy to make. And this is just tons of flavor. Let's put this one back around. Again, these are going to be delicious. And so easy. Again, you can add a lot of different things to this. Again, I really like adding a little bit of heat. So like jalapeno is really nice. And you can serve these with a lot of things. If you wanted to make this as an entree, you could make like a nice papaya salad to go with this. You could do like a pickled carrot kind of salad or slaw. That would be really nice here. Just bright, fresh flavors. This is a really, lends itself to really bright flavors. So again, so easy to do, but really delicious. Obviously, you could also throw this on a burger bun and make tilapia burgers, basically. And so good, so delicious. Let's see how we're doing here. Go ahead and flip this guy. Oh yeah. That's looking great. Still a bit more to go on these. And it smells just gorgeous, really beautiful. Again, this is so easy to do, and it really again, dispelling the tilapia myths that exist is something that I like to do because there's so many of them out there. But it can be an awesome fish. And yeah, you could absolutely do this with catfish too. Another very cheap, sustainable fish option. You could do this with salmon. It would be very nice. You could do this with anything. But again, tilapia is very cost effective. And right now that's important to a lot of people. And so I want to show you how to make this really delicious. Very low cost dinner option. So I've got my platter with some paper towels. Let's go ahead and check my doneness. And basically, again, once these are golden brown, they're going to be good to go. Yeah. This is looking great. And it smells amazing. All those fresh herbs frying in that oil, the peppers, that pickled ginger. Again, all just coming together beautifully here. Again, so easy to do. We'll go ahead and get these last few in the pan here. Just absolutely delicious. And a great weeknight dinner, great weekend dinner too. Again, so simple. Please give it a try. I would love to see that. I will absolutely list all the ingredients. I'll probably put this recipe up on our website a little later today. I'm trying to get some of the recipes that we do on the Facebook Lives up there so that people can have access to that stuff too. But a lot of these are just techniques, really, and you can substitute out a lot of things for these. I try not to get too hung up on recipes, and when I teach, like our classes here, I design recipes to be very flexible for a reason. Again, this is more about the technique of doing a fish cake. You could use walleye, you could use whatever you want. But again, I think for fish cakes or anything that's going to be really heavily seasoned, use a cheaper fish like tilapia or catfish. Again, it can be very delicious. And I know, again, there's a lot of myths surrounding tilapia, which is unfortunate because, again, especially this stuff from Regal Springs, this is a really great fish. I've done some demos with this at some of the co-ops around the Twin Cities, and whenever I make it, people are always surprised. Like, this is tilapia? Tilapia can taste like this? And yeah, it can. It's a really delicious fish. So, It just needs to be given a little bit of love. That's all. It just needs a little extra love. Sometimes we all need a little extra love, right? So again, these are beautiful fish cakes, and it's going to taste absolutely delicious. Again, a little of that Thai chili sauce. It's going to be just beautiful. And again, I think if you added a little bit of heat to these, it would be extra delicious. But this is so good. Again, it's just frying up nicely now. We've got these. We're gonna get a little platter and make them look all pretty. It's gonna be nice. So go ahead and clean off my cutting board here a little bit while those are finishing. And while that finishes up, we should get maybe some of our garnishes ready. Oh yeah. Just, again, the smell on these is just unreal. Just all those fresh herbs. And let me show you, let's take a look at one up close here so you can kind of see what I'm looking at here. Just perfectly golden brown and crispy. Inside is going to be filled with that beautiful fish. Again, so nice. And you could easily, again, put this on a burger bun and have maybe one of the best fish burgers of your life. So delicious. And it couldn't be easier. You watch me make this whole recipe in real time, including the chopping of the herbs and the vegetables. The only thing you didn't see was pulsing the fish, which took about a minute. So again, this goes very, very quickly. It's very, very easy to do. I've got a fresh cutting board, which I'm going to use for some garnish. Where's my fork? There we go. So let's see how we're doing here. Just another minute or so. So for the garnish, you could do this a lot of things. I'm going to use, our basic kind of green onions. And I'm just going to sort of cut these kind of on the bias to make little pretty scallion shavers to top with. You could do this with cilantro too. Just chop up some fresh cilantro and sprinkle that on the top. That would be fine. I'm also going to do this pickled ginger thing because I think this makes a really pretty garnish. Again, this is just a garnish. You don't have to do it if you don't like pickled ginger. That's completely okay. I'm going to dry it off a little bit here on my towel. And I'm just going to run through that. Again, just kind of a quick slice through. Nothing crazy. Perfect. And then, lastly, I think these are ready to pull. I'm going to go ahead and remove these last few here. Perfection. Again, don't ever let anyone tell you that tilapia is a bad fish again. After you try this, it's going to change the game, I promise. So, let's go ahead, and I've got lime as well, because you're going to want some lime for this. Again, all these fresh flavors here are going to help cut through all that fried fish and just brighten the whole thing up. So, again, got some nice lime wedges here. Perfect. This one just needs to brown out just a touch more. And let's go ahead. We've got this Thai chili sauce here. This is something we sell. It works great for this kind of thing. It's just going to add that kind of bright, it's not really spicy, it's more like a sweet and sour sauce with a little chili added. Really good. Perfect for this kind of fish cake again. I'm telling you, throw this thing on a burger, it's not going to get better than that. It really just isn't. So let's clean off a little space here. I've got a little platter. Let's go ahead and put my sauce on the platter. And let's just take a couple of these fish cakes here, like so. And just sort of plate them up nicely, like so. hit them with a few, well, let's just do a little bit of this pickled ginger on top. Again, if you don't like pickled ginger, by all means, don't do this. But I think it just looks real pretty. Got a little ginger in my chili sauce. I'm going to take that out. Go ahead and add a couple lime wedges, and then just sprinkle with some of this green onion. Now, who is not going to be happy with a plate of food that looks like that? For real. This is perfect. Absolutely beautiful. And again, so easy to make. So easy to make. Look at this. You telling me you don't want to eat that? So beautiful. Flip around the other side. Beautiful. You can see the Thai chili sauce there. Really nice. Again, just super easy, super delicious. Perfect for the weeknight, perfect for a weekend. Throw it on a burger with some slaw. Have a really nice fish sandwich. So this is awesome. I'll try to post the recipe for this up later today. Again, so easy to make though, and the ingredients are really easy. Again, this is mostly about the process, which is, again, just pulse the fish in the blender or food processor for a few minutes until pretty rough pulse, and then add your ingredients. Cake it, fry it. Again, you can do this so many different ways. It's really great. So I do hope you try this, and again, hopefully this helps dispel a little of the tilapia myths that exist out there, of which there are many, I know. But don't let that scare you. Tilapia is a beautiful fish. We have it on feature. It's $5.99 a pound. Again, it's hard to go wrong with that. And a pound of tilapia is going to feed quite a few people. So again, easy to do, fun to make, really delicious. So I do hope you make this. Please give it a try. I am excited to see photos if you make it. Always share your photos with us, whatever you're making. Tag us online on Facebook or on Instagram. We're always happy to see that. So thank you so much again for tuning in today. Thank you for all your questions and stuff. We'll be back tomorrow with some more cool stuff. So please check back. Again, we're doing this 1 o'clock every day. And tomorrow we'll have some more fun. We've also got plenty of our other videos from the previous weeks. Definitely watch those as well if you're looking for dinner ideas. It's all quick, simple stuff like this. So great. Please make them. Shout out to our staff who's doing an amazing job both here and in St. Paul. Totally crushing it. We've been very busy. You've all been very patient with us, which we appreciate. Online ordering and deliveries available. Check that out. Otherwise, please subscribe, follow along, do all that stuff, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Stay safe. Thank you.